like everyone and their nans have this quilted jacket that I think it's lovely. You know, the kind that has like a pretty color and the ruffle pockets, and I think it's so cute. So at this point it's ridiculous that I don't have one or that I haven't made one. So in today's video I am going to self-draft one for myself and also give you a little tutorial of how you can do it for yourself. So let's see how it goes. This outfit is giving me like Texas vibes. Look at the little strawberry. I think it's super cute. I am ready to go in town and buy myself a couple things that I still need. Coincidentally, today I'm getting a shipment of fabric, and I think one of the fabrics that I ordered randomly is gonna be perfect for this quilt. However, I also want to make the jacket reversible, so I need another material that I can use for the reversed part as well as for the bias, and I also need the batting inside. So there's like a couple little things that I need to buy. So let's go to the shops and decide what the inside is gonna look like. She's back and I got some very cute stuff. Also, my package got here just now, so perfect timing for me to do a little haul of everything that I got. The thing that I got from the shop was one of the sides of my reversible jacket, and I chose this black denim that's quite a light wash, and this is perfect because I think it's gonna be so versatile and look so cute on different outfits. So what I wanted with this jacket is to have like a more fun side and then something that I can just grab and go, and I would probably pick up almost every time I need to spruce up an outfit. So I thought that this would be perfect. So I got 1.5 meters out of this, and I'm looking forward to see how this goes. The next thing that I got was some quilting batting. So I got 1 meter out of this. I also have some at home, and I think 1.5 meters I probably have in total, which is more than enough for a jacket, but we'll see how it goes. So I also got this, and then this is a big package. It has like 1 kilogram of fabric, but I might need scissors to open it. Okay, let's see. I'm very excited because in this package I also have a couple of fabrics that I need for an order that I got from this cute girly that ordered a 2-piece set. I also have some things for my friend that also ordered a couple of items from my website, and then I also have 2 materials for myself. I already see something and it's quite exciting. Oh shoot, what's this? Wait, let me not get a hold of myself. Okay, so I've seen these cute pants on Pinterest that are like loungewear that also go, I'm also gonna make outfits with them, and I want to make them exactly the same. They're almost like pajamas. So I got 2 meters out of this pretty elastic fabric. This is absolutely incredibly perfect. Look at it. I love it. I'm so excited. I might have to do them tomorrow morning because I'm way too excited for them. Then this is the fabric that I need to do an order from, a pretty checkered fabric. Lovely. And then I'm also gonna do a dress out of this pretty pink for my friend. I think that's gonna be also very cute. The same friend also wants a top, so I ordered her this. It's kind of like a crepe. I think it's very pretty. I was actually kind of worried about it, but now I think it's much better than I thought. But now I'm seeing the one that I thought would be so fucking different. It was supposed to be like a cheetah print, and I was supposed to do the jacket out of this. I don't know what to say. Oh god, I don't know what to say. Honestly, on camera it kind of looks good, but in reality I have mixed feelings about it, and it's quite stretchy, so I don't know if I should do this jacket out of it. I'm gonna think about it and come back. Upon researching a little bit, you can quilt with a stretchy fabric, but the question is, do I want to try that today? Because it's the first time I would do it, and I'm assuming it's not an easy thing to do. I think this is a very pretty, like, tie-dye kind of cheetah print, which I think that it would be very nice on the interior of my jacket, and then the exterior to be that pretty denim. So I think I'm gonna challenge myself and actually do that, because I also don't have anything else in plan for this. I don't know why I bought it. I bought it on, like, because it was on sale and I thought it was pretty, but I didn't realize it was this stretchy. So I don't have anything else in mind with it, therefore I am going to give it a try and see how this goes. But maybe it's not gonna be a reversible thing if this is not gonna be pretty in the inside, but we'll see. Let's start the process. Oh, I also wanted to show you how they would look together, and I think this is very pretty, also very me. I absolutely love, like, black denim and then this cheetah print looking fabric. Okay, now let's actually start. So, as I said, I could not find the perfect pattern for the jacket I wanted. The things that I was looking for were the pretty collar, the ruffly pockets, and I wanted it to be short but not cropped. And I couldn't find that in one singular pattern that I liked in every way. So I'm going to be trying to make it on my own. But in order to help myself, I did find a pattern of a jacket that I like the shape of, and I'm going to show you how you can quilt that. It was not meant to be quilted, and it does not have the collar or the pockets as I wanted them, so I'm going to give you a tutorial of how to add those things on. I'm also gonna give the link down below for the jacket that I am doing, but that's just like the base, and it's not meant to be quilted, and the pattern doesn't show you how to quilt it. So my tutorial is about how you can turn any jacket pattern into a quilt coat with the collar and with the pockets. So now that I printed the pattern that I found, I think it's from Indie Patterns. I cut it up in a medium size, and now I'm going to start with cutting all of my fabrics. Great, so here I have all the pieces done. I have my batting, 2 sleeves, the back and 2 fronts, as well as in my cheetah print. I also have the back, 2 fronts, sleeves, and last, my black denim. I also have the back, 2 fronts, and the sleeves. So when you have everything together, you can start putting them together, and I'll show you how to quilt them. What I've decided to do is start with the back, because it's like the largest surface. If it's the first time you're quilting, I encourage you to do that, because you're gonna have like a lot of room to try the stitches on, as well as it's the back, so if you fuck up a little bit, it's going to be okay. So what you have to do in the first step is you have to kind of make a sandwich out of your fabrics. Maybe you're working with the same fabric, so then it doesn't really matter which one's which, but the most important part is that your batting stays in the middle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of my fabrics and I'm gonna lay it with the nice side, so the good side facing down. Then I'm going to put my batting inside. It should have the same exact shape. And then I'm going to take the other material and I'm going to lay it with the good side upwards. So now we're going to have a sandwich that on both sides, it's your nice fabric. And this is where you're going to want to quilt on. What you have to do is draw guidelines, which I'm going to show you in just a second, how you can make the perfect guides for you to stitch in the right places and in the right shapes that you want to quilt with. So what I'm doing is I'm using a chalk pen as well as the tool that I just showed you in order to trace my lines before I start quilting. So what you're gonna need is finding the 45-degree angle that I am going to place on the side of my first panel, like so. And now I'm going to trace only the borders. I am fine with the length that my ruler has, and this one in particular is 10 centimeters. So my quilts are gonna be about 10 centimeters, therefore I make 2 lines. And then I just continue doing so for the rest of my whole back. Perfect. So now that I have all my diagonals in this direction, I'm also going to have to make them in the other direction to make the perfect shape. So what I'm doing is I'm going to take the back, again, find my 45-degree angle, place it on one of my borders, and start tracing again. So now I have the perfect guides that I'm going to quilt with. I know my squares are quite large, or maybe not, but I prefer them this way. I think I want my quilts to be visible, and I think they're gonna be very cute. So I'm going to repeat this on all my other sides and then start the quilting process. Again, if you don't have the quilting tool that I just showed you, you can always use the regular one, but maybe it's gonna be a bit more complicated because you don't have the 45-degree angle. You can also use, I think there's another tool that also shows you the angle, and you can use them together, or if you have enough time to buy this one, I really think it's such a helpful tool. And now I'm ready to start quilting. Actually, before I start, I'm also going to pin the 3 layers together in order for them not to shift too much. And I'm actually gonna use clips. I'm gonna do the whole sides, and then I can start the actual quilting. So when I'm quilting, I'm just going straight lines for where I drew them, and then also making sure that the underneath stays flat and it doesn't bunch up or scrunch, which I was a bit anxious for, but I've actually done like 2 or 3 stitches, and I've managed to keep it nice even though it's stretchy, so I'm really proud of myself. And now I'm going to continue with quilting all of them, and I'm going to meet you back so you can see how the quilted part looks like. The first quilt is ready. Look, it's so cute. I was honestly anxious for this side with the cheetah print, but it turned out very pretty. Even if it's a stretch fabric, I think it actually gives it quite a softness on the inside that I think I'm going to enjoy, that makes it very cozy. And this is the back. Now I also have to do the front and also the sleeves in the same manner, and then I will see you when I finish everything so we can put them together and also teach you how to do the collar and the pockets. It's quite a while later, but everything is done. I am so excited. I have 2 sleeves as well as my back and my 2 fronts, and I am super happy with how it turned out. Honestly, I was a bit worried about this part because it was stretchy material, but I managed to quilt it up very nicely, very slowly, and if you give yourself the time, definitely it's not that complicated, just you need to pay attention as you go. So if this is a first quilt for you, I really hope that it's going great. You're doing amazing. And now I'm going to show you how to do the Peter Pan collar, and then we'll start putting everything together. For the collar, I wanted to do a little self-drafting and figure out my own way to do a collar because I've never done one properly. and I think it was very fun for me to try to figure it out. But I'm gonna show you guys how I did it so you can just follow the steps and get the same result. However, I feel like this is something that you can customize however you want. It doesn't have to be exactly like mine. This is the little prototype that I did. This is how it looks like. It's like a pretty round. Then this would be the back. I think it's gonna be very cute, and let's see how you can make your own. So in order to make your little pattern, what you're going to need is a ruler as well as something to write with, and then we're going to take our back and our front of the coat in order to draw the necklines. So what you're going to do is take a big piece of paper. Here I just taped 2 A4s, but what I'm going to do is first take my front and I'm going to align it so that the top part meets with my half of my paper. So something like this. And now I am going to trace the neckline of my front. Now that we have our front, we can get rid of this. And now I'm going to take my back and put it upside down on the other half of my paper. Again, align them nicely. And now I'm going to trace this part of my neckline. In the end, you're going to be left with your neckline from front to back. So this is the part that we're gonna cut out first. What we got so far is this shape that when you put around your neck, it should be at least the shape of your neckline. And now we're going to shape this into whatever shape of a color you want. This is how it looks in the front, and this is how it looks in the back. I want a round shape, so I'm going to show you how you can do that. But you can do anything. You can do something that's like more straight, you can do a zigzag, you can do whatever you think fits best your style. So I want my collar to be round, so what I'm going to do is just kind of trace by hand the shape that I think would be the cutest. And now I'm just gonna cut up the shape that I came up with. You can do whatever. This was just me freehanding what I think would be the sweetest. But as I said, you can do whatever you think fits best your style, or if you have some inspiration, maybe you can look at the picture and kind of copy that shape. But this has been in my mind, this cute like bell shape that when you put in half looks so sweet. So now I have the pattern for my collar. So what I am of course going to do now is with my pattern, I'm going to cut it in both of the fabrics. Obviously I'm going to cut it on the fold, so when I open this up I have both parts of my collar done. And I'm going to quilt them in the same way that I've quilted my jacket up until now. And then it's time to start putting everything together. It's the next morning and all my pieces are ready, including the collar. This is how it looks. This is one side with the cheetah print, and then this is the black side. I think they're both so adorable. Another thing that I did yesterday, and I also mentioned, but I'm also gonna show you right now, is made quite a bunch of bias tape in both colors. So also this and also the black denim. And I did not decide yet which color I want to bias with, but I think in different areas I'm gonna bias different things. So for example, I think that the part that goes on the outside, I'm gonna line with the black denim, and then the inside seams, for example, of the bodice, I'm gonna do with this. But I'm gonna show you exactly how I put together the jacket. First things that I'm going to be showing are the shoulders as well as the inner seam line. And what I'm going to do is take the back, put it with my right side up, and then I'm going to take one of the parts that go in the front, and I'm going to align same color on same color, and then I'm going to do the same with the other one. And I'm going to clip along my shoulders and the inner seam line, and I'm just going to straight stitch all four, so on both sides, shoulder and inner seam line. I swear no one can replicate the excitement and happiness of when something is coming along. This is way too cute. Let me also put it on. So now it's a vest. Oh my god, I'm unwell. Look at this. Perfect size. Oh my god, let me put it on the other side. So as you can see, one side is gonna have the raw seams and the other not. So when you put your things together, make sure that the side that you think you were gonna wear more, I would say I'm gonna wear more the black side. But this, oh my god, this is way too cute. So basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna bias these parts, but I'm not getting ahead of myself. I'm also gonna show you how to do the collar first. For the collar, what I am doing is just basically attaching only the neckline. So where I have my neckline, if you made your collar with the same exact sizes as your front and back neckline, now it should align perfectly like this and all along the whole seam. And I'm just going to put it again on the side that I think I'm gonna wear most. So for me, I'm gonna just do it on the black part, and then sew a line along the whole neckline, and then I'm going to start doing the biasing. This is way too cute. I absolutely am already in love with it. It's not even ready. So I'm gonna also show you, you can also flip this, don't worry. You put it like that, and then you just flip the collar. Oh my god, I am way too excited. This is also a perfect moment for you to see if you like the collar size and shape. And you can obviously cut down on the parts that are not sewed in yet. Oh my god. I might cut a little bit out of here, but I'm gonna think about it. Amazing. Now I think I'm also gonna attach the arms and show you a little bit of how to do that. In order to make the sleeves, you're going to take one of your sleeves and you're going to put the lengths of the sleeves together with the right sides touching. So basically just fold it in half, and you're going to sew along this line first. For this, I'm just taking it inside out so that I have the part that I think I'm gonna wear the most outside. And this is your sleeve. Now let's attach it to the main bodice. In order to do that, I am going to take my main panel and I'm going to find the armholes, and I'm going to take my sleeve, and if we imagine how it should look in the end, it's like this, right? Put it down and it should look like this. Therefore, what we need to do is align this part with this part. However, we're gonna do that on the inside. So how you're gonna do that is with your sleeves on the table, I am going to open my jacket to reveal the inside, and I'm going to slip my armhole exactly through it, so that kind of when I open it, both of the good sides are touching, and in the inside I can see wrong side and wrong side. Now, what's the most important part is that this seam line is going to attach to this seam line. So we're gonna find the joint here, and I'm going to clip it to the joint underneath. Clip and make sure that these two are aligned. And from here on, what I'm gonna do is just align my whole armhole with my whole armhole from the sleeve. After you do this, you can also like take it a bit inside out and make sure that everything looks right. And then what I'm going to do is just sew along this inner seam line that goes kind of under your armpit. It's gonna be a bit more complicated because obviously it's in the round, but if you take the attachment off from your sewing machine, you can make it much easier for yourself. I just cannot with this. It's the cutest. I love it so much. I think I'm gonna be wearing this over and over again and probably making it in many other colors. I think it's so cute. Let me also show you the other side. Oh my god, it's cute on both sides. Oopsie. Oh my god, what have I done? I love it so much. Okay, now we're gonna start doing the biasing, and then also I chose to close it with just like string ties that I'm also gonna do out of bias. And then the last thing will be the pockets, but for now I just want to have it complete, and then the pocket is just like an add-on that you can do basically whenever. As I showed, I made two types of bias. I made one out of the cheetah print and one out of the black denim. And I think my decision here is that I'm going to use this one in order to finish all the raw edges of things that I joined. So anything that is like inside of my jacket and on the cheetah print part, I am going to do in this color. And then all the raw edges that are not like finished or anything, they're just like outside edges. So for example, the collar, and then this part, and then obviously the bottom part, I am going to do in the black denim. And now I think I'm also doing the straps that are gonna be the bow ties also from the denim. I made more than one. I think I have two more of this and then one more roll of this. So let's see how it goes. I'm happy that this is very like flexible and soft, so when I'm gonna use it on the inside, it's still gonna give me like a soft feel, and it's not gonna be itchy or scratchy or anything, yet the inside is gonna be super cute with this. It's a little while later because life got in the way, but I managed to bias almost the whole jacket. So after I finished the interior, which I'll show in a sec, I also did this part of my collar in the same way you bias tape generally. Also the sleeves are biased, and then of course the inside. I'm gonna be very honest, the inside was so difficult for me to do because my material was stretchy, and I'm gonna tell you, it's not easy to bias with stretchy material, but this is how it looks in the end. Not too shabby, but definitely it was a bit of a challenge for me. And the last thing that I have to bias is the front. However, in the front, I am also going to include the bow ties. So I wanted to show you how you can place those in while you bias, so it has a very clean, finished look. So what I've done is basically I cut 4 strips, identical strips of my main fabric, or the fabric that you think you're gonna want to wear most. Unfortunately, I am not gonna be able to do the straps so that when I turn it over, also the straps will be a different color. But I think because most of my outside bias is already this color, I'm gonna like the ties either way. So I chose to do it out of my black denim, and I cut 4 strips of 45 centimeters each. And then I think in width they have 7 centimeters, but I might be wrong. I need to double check with that. And that's gonna be my bow tie. I am going to bias tape it as normal, so fold it once and then again in the middle. So it's gonna look like this, and I'm gonna show you the favorite hack that I use in order to make the ends of my ties look neat and pretty. But let's bias this first. Once I have my bias tape, I'm going to start to make the endings of my ties. And I wish someone showed me this earlier, because I feel like so many of my ties and the ends of my bias tapes were looking very rough, and if it was a material that frayed a lot, I feel like there was a lot of unevenness. But this is my favorite way to do it now. So you're gonna take your bias, you're gonna open it up once, twice only on one of the sides, and now I'm going to fold it in once, and then I'm going to fold it in so I can see this little hole here, in which I am going to tuck away my little part, and in the end it should come off so much neater. Once I finish my endings, I put the raw side on my garment, and as you can see, all of my bias tapes that are gonna be the closures are directed towards the outside of the garment. So in placing them like this, I'm going to be able to enclose them in my bias when I start doing that. So now I'm going to do a long strip from here all the way out, and then coming back on the top, and that's my very last step on finishing this. Hear me out. I know I hyped up the pockets, but I looked at the material I have left and there is not enough for the pockets. I genuinely just have 2 squares of my black denim, so I think that for now I'm going to have to call it quits and end the project here, because I am so happy and so excited with it, and I think it looks so cute. It could have some pockets, and I also want to give you a tutorial for that. So if you really want to know how to do that, comment down below pocket, or I really want to know how to put the pockets on, and I'm gonna do another version in which I'm gonna make sure that I have enough fabric for that. But for now, I'm gonna show you the finished product. This is it. I am so happy with it. This is darling. Look at the bows, look at the color, look at the little secret peek at the inside lining color. That's cheetah. I love it. Everything about it is perfect. Look at the length. You can still see my t-shirt, yet it's not too cropped. I think it's cozy enough, but not so cozy that I cannot wear it in this time of the year. I just think it's perfect. I'm also gonna show you the other side, because the other side is obviously the fun part, because this cheetah is also so cute. Even though the black is gonna be more versatile and obviously goes with more outfits, I think putting it the other way around is gonna spruce up so many outfits, and I'm very excited for that. Especially because I have not been making a lot of quilted garments. I've done bags, I've done laptop covers, and I've done 2 vests. I'm not gonna lie, I've done 2 vests until now, but making this honestly has been so much fun. Also a learning curve in some parts, I'm not gonna lie to you. This is so cute. Look at the cheetah print. I love it. I am in love, and I think you should do it as well. If you do and you need more guidance, always comment questions. Also, you can DM me on Instagram, because I like to respond to everyone and see what your journeys or your finished products, and I'm always excited to be part of your sewing journey and get into your creative juices as well. and I think this project is a cute one, probably one of my favorites. And now I gotta go clean, so I will see you with my next craft.